Her radical liberal policies have caused horrific inflation, decimated the middle class, and gutted the finances of millions of American families. And you know what I'm talking about, because everybody in this room has been devastated by what they've done.
That's former President Trump speaking moments ago on the economy in Pennsylvania. Back here at home, economists are split on Vice President Harris' economic plan. Some say it will help the middle class get a leg up. Others argue targeting price gouging is ignoring bigger issues. Former White House spokesman for President George W. Bush, Pete Seat, is here to weigh in. Price gouging, that's a great thing to go after, and that's what Vice President Harris is going after. But is it really a factor in the U.S. economy right now, Pete?
It sounds good, but it's not a real problem. Kamala Harris is under attack right now by Republicans, Democrats, economists for her economic plan because it highlights that she doesn't understand. The sitting vice president of the United States does not understand basic economics. She doesn't understand that the inflation accelerating policies of the Biden-Harris administration are what have led to unaffordable housing, to rising consumer good prices, and to a host of other economic calamities across this country, including an increased cost of living. She also doesn't understand the concept of supply and demand. This idea of giving first-time home buyers $25,000 to put towards the down payment on a home is going to cause housing prices to go up even further. Because if there's not adequate supply of housing, the demand is going to cause that to happen. Supply and demand. It's economics 101, and the Democratic nominee doesn't seem to understand that.
What about the price control? She wants to control prices as well.
Yeah, it strikes me as something we've seen in some third world countries. I'm not the kind to throw around words like communism and socialism, but it's problematic to hear. And again, economists are saying this. They're calling it untenable and unsustainable. They're saying that it's not serious and not sensible policy. And that final quote, not sensible, is from a former top economist to Barack Obama in the White House. You even have the Washington Post editorial board calling her speech in North Carolina a disappointment and saying it was full of nothing but gimmicks.
But there are a lot of low information voters out there, Pete, who might like the sound of $25,000 to help me buy a first-time home.
Yeah, and those low information voters, I think, are why this is such a competitive race right now and why Kamala Harris is polling well in battleground states, because she has not been well defined. She has not been defined adequately by the Trump campaign and by Donald Trump. Some of that is a function of time. There's still 80 days to go. And some of that is because of distractions and Donald Trump, workshopping different names, nicknames for Kamala Harris, Lion Harris, Comrade Harris, Laughing Harris, all the things that he throws out there. What he needs to do is explain in very plain terms what her economic policies mean for the average American. And what it means is sticker shock of today is nothing compared to what it'll be in 2025, 2026, 2027 if she is sworn in.
Well, she has talked a lot about fixing this economy that, has left so many people in the dust. But I guess she acts as though she were not part of the administration that's been in office for nearly 4 years now.
Well, a lot of us have wondered who's actually in charge in the White House, and this continues to beg the question to which we don't have an answer. I mean, she should be in the room, right? To your point, it's the Biden-Harris administration. She is the sitting vice president. She should be in the room managing, tackling these problems, because they're problems today. They're not problems of the future. They're problems right now that the American people are facing. So I have to wonder if she is just impotent, or irrelevant in the White House and unable to actually do anything. And that's why she's going on the campaign trail, throwing out a lot of hope and change kind of language. I'm sure it serves a purpose to get those low information voters, as you mentioned. But the devil always is in the details.
It is indeed. Pete, thank you.
Thanks.